Narito po tayo ngayon sa Quezon Museum sa Quezon City kung saan atin pong makakausap ang premyadong aktor na si Jericho Rosales na gumaganap bilang si Pangulong Manuel Quezon sa kanyang bagong pelikula. Bukod sa kwentuhan, atin din po makakasama si Jericho sa pagtutour sa loob ng museum. Pero bago yan, subscribe muna kayo sa aking channel at sa Christine Babao's channel.
So, nasa Museo ni Manuel Quezon po tayo, sir.
Itong room na to, anong meron dito?
So, nandito po tayo sa reconstruction po ng Presidential Office po ni Pangulong Manuel Luis Quezon. Kung saan makikita po natin yung mga upuan at table po na ginamit po niya nung nasa Malacanang po siya. Original po talaga yan na pinapangalagaan po ng National Historical Commission of the Philippines. So, to preserve po para sa mga future generation po natin. Kumbaga, sir, parang piping saksi sila sa mga administrasyon po ni Quezon.
So dito mismo siya nag-opisina?
Yes po, sir. Nung nasa Malacanang po siya. So,
piping saksi.
Piping saksi.
Dito ka nag-opisina?
Dito ka, sir, nag-opisina.
Siya pumirma ng maraming...
Opo, sir, dokumento. Yung mga issues sa lipunan, yung mga problem, kumbaga, alam ng mga upuan niya yan. Kung sino mga ka-meeting niya, alam ng mga upuan niya.
Interesado ako dun sa seal na yun, yung may agila na yun, di ba?
Opo, American Eagle po siya.
American Eagle, di ba? Tapos yung seal ng Amerika yun sa baba.
Opo, sir. Opo. Dahil nasa under po tayo ng Americans noong time po na yun. Commonwealth government po. Transition government siya. Kapag ready na po tayo, ay sinasabi na maaari na po nating makuha yung
independensya!
Yes.
Ito ba, tignan mo yung detalye na yan.
Opo, sir.
Pati yan, may ibig sabihin yan.
Diba?
Grabe, no?
So, yung mga designs din po, intricate.
Ano itong painting na to?
So, itong painting na po nito, ang backdrop niya po, yung nasa, ano po, dahil may mga pine trees sa Baguio po.
Sa Baguio yan,
Opo.
Ano, original ba yan? Nung nabubuhay pa si Quezon, nandiyan yung painting na yan?
Opo, sinasabi po na original po na by Dayaw po. Opo. Preserve na rin po natin, kaya malinis na po yung, ano natin, yung painting natin.
At bukod dito, meron pa mga mga memorabilia.
Yes.
Mga naging gamit si President Quezon dito. Ano mga makikita rito?
So, ito lahat po personal memorabilia po. So, iba-iba, may picture holder, yung mga metal stamps, yung mga ilang plaque po ni Quezon, tapos yung mga wooden relief, yan, wood carvings. Ba naman yung profile po ni Pangulong Quezon na makikita niyo po. Talaga yung tangos ng ilong niya talaga yung prominent, like kay Sir Jericho. Parang yung resemblance talaga. Yung talaga, sinasabi pag malayo pala, si Quezon yan, matangos po yung ilong niya. And dito po, yung souvenir golf ball. And makikita po dito yung yung winning card niya po ng poker. So, sinasabi
poker.
Yes po, at sinasabi po na magaling po si President na mag-poker. Meron po tayong mga hats, saka po yung mga portfolio, yung mga leather na mga bag niya. So, and yun po, may bookend po. Makikita niyo po may naka-indeed na MLQ. Tapos ito po, sir, rattan bag. Original din yan.
Na golf bag.
Sir.
Golf bag yan?
Golf bag po, opo. Opo.
Galing na.
So, nasalo pa po yung ibang golf club Opo, na-maintain pa po.
Yung seal yung seal na yun. Yung shape ng seal.
Ito naman po, sir, from Shanghai naman siya. Parang inano lang sa kanya. In-award po. Opo.
Ganda.
So po yung mga lahat po yan, sir. Lahat ng makikita niyo po sa Museo ni Manuel Quezon, original po talaga. Wala po tayong replica.
Sino ba yung nagme-maintain ito?
So kami po ay under the National Historical Commission of the Philippines po.
5'6" lang.
Dapat nagka-picture ka pala, sir, dito.
Sige.
Picture niyo po, sir, dito.
Ito. Pipicture lang ako nito. Magsa-selfie na lang ako.
Opo.
5'6" lang pala siya.
Oo, 5'6" lang siya.
Una mo raw siya.
And you are? What's your height?
5'10".
Painting ni Quezon.
Sabi niyo doon sa bed.
Country's finest actors.
Thank you.
Jericho Rosales.
Thank you.
Kamusta ka?
Good, bro. Thank you so much. Thank you. It's been a long time. I don't think I've ever done an interview with you.
Wala.
Never.
Oh, first time natin
Lagi
na
lang tayo
mag-interview.
nakikita-kita.
Oh, kwentuhan lang. Pero
I mean, habang yung interview mo kapag nagre-report ka.
Correct.
Yeah.
So you're playing Quezon in this new movie of yours?
Yes, sir.
Oo.
Manuel Luis Quezon.
Oo nga.
This guy, our
And
ex-president.
napakaswerte natin because we're in the office of President Quezon.
Yeah.
Ano-anong pakiramdam na ito mismo yung table na ginamit niya, yan yung mga upuan.
First time, I was telling you kanina, diba? Medyo funny na andito tayo with our modern chairs and andyan yung mga chairs nila because we're not supposed to touch this.
Oo nga, bawal ka lang.
So dyan lang, parang feel lang natin yung vibe nila. But
Diba?
first time ko dito, bro, as in, thank you MLQ for this. I mean, to see his things and I didn't even go here for research. I just went here and then yung tomb niya nandun, diba?
Tomb, di ba? Yun ang gandang bubungat sa'yo eh. Yung tomb ni President.
You see how big he is. Like how big, you know, his life was before. Yeah. Feels great to be here.
Yeah. Mamaya iikot pa tayo. Mag-tour tayo dito para makita natin kung ano mga makikita dito sa museum ni President Manuel Quezon. Ang last movie na nagawa mo is 2017, no?
2017, The Girl in the Orange Dress.
Rom-com.
Yeah,
That was mga 8 years ago pa.
That was my
Grabe.
Jaya Bello and Jessie Mendiola. Yeah, Jessie Mendiola. And that was me trying out rom-com. So I did that. There's another rom-com that I did. Basta yun yung yun yung mga medyo comedy streak ko na gusto kong gawin. May movie pa kami ni Uge dati. Nag-guest ako sa movie niya. Yeah, that was my last. And my last TV show was Halik in 2017 also.
2017 din. Ang tagal mo na wala.
17, 18, yeah. 19, 20, 21, 22, 23.
So why? Bakit ang tagal mo nawala sa sa industriya?
Yeah,
ginawa mo?
We were talking about it kanina. How do I even start? Meron akong ganun eh. Meron akong ganun.
Okay.
Meron akong ganun na mawawala na lang ako bigla. My team knows this about me. It's just I will reach a certain peak or a certain height and then marirealize ko na okay, may kulang, may mali, and then I'll stop. And then okay, I'll either switch to music. There's one time nag-music ako. And then one time I just wanted to be with myself. I'll stop and then restart then again and then go back again to a certain level and then rest na naman and relax. So the pinaka-recent one was of course the pandemic. But even before the pandemic, I said after Halik, I'll stop TV work muna. I'll stop TV work, like really stop. Even if they offer me a contract, and then I'll say no. And then, tinapos ko yung project, tinapos ko yung movie. And then, nag-pandemic. Right before the pandemic, I started learning how to produce films properly. As a creative producer, and of course, a producer also, like behind the scenes, like, trying to learn how to raise money for projects and how to create a business plan for projects, ganyan, and actually how to write a script and how to work with producers, how to work with directors, and learn about the industry that I work in. Yun yung main decision ko, was to go back sa pelikula kasi yun yung pinakamalaking parang kalaban ko dati na hindi ko pinagbibigyan yung sarili ko na magpelikula kasi natatakot ako dahil kailangan TV sunod-sunod. Yung may mentality ng pag hindi mo na baka pag hindi ka na gumawa ng television, hindi ka na gumawa ng TV, makakalimutan ka na ng mga tao. O baka pag hindi ka na nag-teleserye, walang endorsements na darating, parang mga ganun. Yung mga basic na kinatatakutan ng lahat ng artista na kailangan palo ka ng palo, pukpok ka ng pukpok kasi hindi mo alam pwede mangyari bukas. Mga ganun. Actually, normal naman yun eh. And I just realized that I'm just built differently. Kasi sanay ako sa hirap eh. So, alam ko naman kung paano maghirap. Alam ko yun eh. Hindi na ako takot dun eh. So, but natatakot ako na hindi ko pagbibigyan yung pangarap ko. So I realized that if I just showed people that I respect my craft and I respect myself, they will remember me and they will respect that attitude and they will remember me as one reliable actor or artist. So yung investment ko was to do good in TV, do good in advertising, do good in, you know, if I'm offered a little part sa stage, then which I did, then do good sa music kahit na, ano, you know, train yourself, study, learn talaga. And I learned singing, I learned acting, I learned, you know, every area of my career. And so I think that's what yun yung nakikita ng mga tao. That's why I had this confidence na I can stop and make myself better and actually really work on my dreams, which is to create films, to make movies talaga. So yun, nag-work siya. I create, nag-budgeting ako. Sabi ko, ito yung gagastusin ko sa, pag hindi ako, tumigil ako magtrabaho, ito yung kailangan ko sa 6 na buwan hanggang sa 1 taon. I had investments. You know, I had some money coming in kahit hindi ako mag-work. Thank God, nakapag-ipon ako. And then, I said, okay, laban. And then I started looking for the people to work with, yung tamang tao na ano, sa team ko. And then I invested in myself. I traveled to New York. I trained again, and then came back with a different spirit na. So parang sure nag ano yung pandemic, but nag-start kami mag-produce nung ex-wife ko si Kim. She's a director and a writer. Nag-produce kami ng mga 2-3 short films, and then nagsimula ako magsulat. And then, nung bumalik na yung ano, natapos na yung pandemic, and then bumalik na yung mundo, nag-open na ulit, nasa tamang mindset na ako. And then sabi ko, okay, yes year. So yes ako, nagmano ako sa TV ulit with Lavender Fields. And then, yun na. Then, while I was doing that, gumawa na ako ng 3-year plan ko para sa mga pelikula na gagawin ko. Nagtawag ako ng mga producers, directors, writers, para mag-offer sa akin ng mga scripts, mga pelikula. And then, nakapili ako ng ilan, na-develop na kami na ano, ng mga stories. And then, biglang tumawag yung ano, TBA.
Yun na yun.
Eto na. So, yun na, tuloy-tuloy na. And then, yeah, now, I'm here.
So, kasi sa, ano ko, sa YouTube channel ko, we always go back to the past. No?
Yeah.
So, gusto ko malaman yung, ano, yung beginnings mo. Para ka ba nagsimula talaga? Para ka na-discover?
Yeah, I like that. Aside from being nostalgic and ano, but it's always good to look back.
Yeah.
Nagsimula talaga ako sa Mr. Pogi.
alam ni Tintin.
Oo nga, si Tintin. Yeah, Mr. Pogi talaga yun. But the real story there, para at least it's ano, mas masaya para sa show mo. My dream before was maglagay lang ako ng isang schedule sa kalendaryo. Just anything related to pagiging, I don't know, sa entertainment or trabaho. Magkaroon lang ako ng saysay sa buhay.
Okay.
Kasi ano na ako nun eh. I stopped going to school na. I was working na as a service crew. And then dream ko lang talaga nun magkaroon na. So one time, may nag-offer sa akin na sumali sa Hair Asia.
Okay.
Hair Asia. So nakalagay ko doon. Naalala ko, binayaran pa ako ng 750 pesos.
Wow. Okay.
750 pesos. Sabi ko, sana maulit-ulit ito.
Anong ginawa mo ron sa Hair Asia?
Wala, ginupitan lang ako. Ako lang ako, ginupitan lang ako ng buhok.
Tapos binigyan ka 750?
Tapos bigyan ako 750. Sabi ko, okay, good. Pwede na to.
Pwede na.
Uwi na ako. But nagtatry na ako na magpunta sa mga go-see, sa mga commercials, ganyan. Maybe once or twice, ganyan. Pero sobrang ano eh, alam mo may insecure ka talaga. Kasi daming ilaw, tapos sobrang payat ko noon, tapos wala man akong maayos na damit, ganyan. Until I worked as a driver, yung boss ko noon, yun nga, siya yung may client sa Broadway Centrum. And then nakita nila ako, nag-audition yung Mr. Pogi. Doon ako nag-audition. Then parang pinilit nila ako, ng mga pamangkin ko. I remember being so young that I was just like, wow, I don't even understand kung ano yung nangyayari. Basta punta ka lang doon, tinuruan ako sumayaw, pinahiram ako ng damit, and then sabi sa akin, basta pagdating sa question and answer, ngumiti ka lang sa mga judges ng maayos, sumagot ka ng maayos, So nalala ko, nanginginig yung panga ko sa kabay, di ba? Alam mo yun? So kung ano yung pasuot nila sa akin, sige, mga garter lang yata, pet ko pa.
Magandang tanghali ho sa lahat ng studio audiences at lalo na sa mga televiewers na nakadikit na mga mata sa telebisyon. Ito po si Jericho Rosales, ang Mr. Pogi at proud son ng Marikina.
But yeah, yun yung beginning ng career ko. And then I became a host sa Itbulaga. And then I was offered to study acting, to be launched as an actor. So I said yes. I remember, hindi ko alam kung ano gusto ko maging... wala akong idea kung ano gusto ko sa college or gano'n. So I said acting, sige dun. Then workshops, dun. I felt so alive. Buhay na buhay ako sa workshops. I was so happy, excited ako pumasok palagi. So I did that for 3 months, I think. 2 or 3 months.
Habang ginagawa mo yan, nagtatrabaho ka rin on the side?
Hindi na.
Wala na, yun na.
Hindi
Yun
na.
talaga.
Kasi nanalo ako ng Mr. Pogi. May premyo yun na pera.
Magkano?
50,000, Hong Kong, shopping money sa Hong Kong trip, educational plan, at kung ano, tsaka trabaho sa Itbulaga. Host.
Oo, nag-host ka sa Itbulaga.
Yes, sir. Kasama si Francis M, the great Francis M, and Ruby Rodriguez. Nandun lang kami sa Chubibo, no? Paakyat baba, ganun. Then I would announce the criteria for judging, announce the winners. Uwi na, punta na ako ng American Boulevard, bibili na ulit ako ng costume ko. Tapos babalik na ulit ako. Mura yung costume nandun eh, di ba? So yun na, so may pera ako, may budget ako for myself nung time na yun.
Anong work na magulang mo nun?
So my parents were separated. Separated sila. Si mama, nung time na yun, she didn't have to work na kasi may work na ako.
Pero before?
Odd jobs eh. Sometimes nasa catering, sometimes labandera, yung time na yun. Sometimes caretaker ng bahay, sometimes odd jobs talaga. So papa naman, nasa scrap metal business siya, insurance. Doon ko nakuha yung pagmumotor sa kanya. Kasi nagmumotor yan mula Apari hanggang Hulo, literal, para magbenta ng insurance. And then, I think he was also a military reserve dito sa Pilipinas. So, same typical family na isang kahig, isang tuka na pamilya, gano'n.
So, naranasan mo talaga yung hirap doon?
Oo naman, pare. Oo naman, diba? Kami wala yung masaya yun. Yun yung kulay sa buhay.
That keeps you grounded eh, no?
Yun ang kulay sa buhay. Yun. But masaya eh. Masaya yung time na yun na marami akong natutunan na na-apply ko sa, sa life ngayon. Iba yung time nun na nakaranas ka ng hirap.
Totoo.
No, kasi as a child, di ba, parang hindi ako masyadong natitinag kagad. Alam mo yun, parang okay lang yan, sige lang, go lang, gawa ka ng paraan. Hindi ka magugutom. Parang ganun.
And up to now, no, it keeps you resilient sa mga bagay, no? Sa mga challenges sa buhay.
Paraan, resilient. And then, alam mo kung paano kausapin yung sarili mo.
Totoo.
Encourage yung sarili mo. So it's good.
So ano yung biggest break mo after nun?
There are two kinds of breaks that were super important sa akin. One was, of course, yung pangako sa'yo. Hindi naman natin makakalimutan. Si Tintin.
With Tintin. With Christine Hermosa. Okay.
And I remember, I was going to play yung role ni Piolo sa dekada 70. So I was preparing for that. And then, tinanggal nila ako dun sa movie. And they said, you can't do that anymore. I remember being so broken-hearted because I already prepared for it. And pelikula. Again, pelikula.
Pelikula.
Bubog ko talaga yun eh. Tapos, and then yun sinabi nila na kasi magpapangako sa'yo ka. So I was like, okay na rin pala. Kasi palabas sa Malaysia, palabas sa Cambodia, palabas sa South America. So okay na rin, di ba? And then naman haba. Nakabili akong kotse, nakabili akong bahay. So,
tupad mga pangarap mo.
Tupad yung mga pangarap ko. Pangarap ko sa pamilya ko, magkabahay. Gusto ko magkaroon sarili kong kotse.
So yan ang in-offer sa'yo, patanggalin ka sa dekada. Yan ang kapalit.
Yan ang kapalit.
Ay, okay din, di ba?
Okay din.
Okay.
But of course, di ba, syempre, dyan pa rin, I was young. And syempre, priority ko nun was kasaganaan, kagaangan ng buhay.
Tama.
And a sense of like, okay, may ginagawa ako. Diba? May laman niya yung kalendaryo ko. So the opposite happened, sumasabog na yung kalendaryo ko.
Puno na.
Kulang na, parang gano'n. Tumatakas na ako para magkaroon ng break. But the second break that was very, very important for me was the very first role na binigay sa akin nung ABS. Dun sa Star Drama Theater Presents ni Rico yan. As a frat master na ka-eksena ko siya, parang gano'n. So I was given that break to showcase what I've learned from the workshops. So that was very important for me. Para sa akin yun yung break na kailangan ng soul ko and ng confidence ko. That, oh wait, ito yung kaya kong gawin sa harap ng camera. So those two biggest breaks. And then the rest was history na. You know, I did a lot of series, like Sana'y Wala Nang Wakas. I started with Esperanza, with Judy Ann Santos.
Judy Ann.
So grateful for. And then, dami ng shows, TV shows. But for the films, I had the chance to work with Marilu Diaz-Abaya, Bagong Buwan. So Bagong Buwan siya. And then, the other break sa film, that was my biggest break sa film, was Tanging Yaman. By Laurice Killian. And of course, Johnny, Sir Tito Johnny, kasama ko. And that's such a gift because up to now, I'm still friends with, you know, the family. And we work together. And sila Ana, hi Ana, my teacher. And then, yeah, that was one of my biggest breaks sa pelikula. Aside from, of course, movies namin ni Christine na may mga umiilaw na mangga. Forevermore and ngayong nandito ka, parang ganyan.
Napanood ko pa yata yun, yung umiilaw na mangga na yun. Naalala ko yun. Oo, napanood ko yun.
So now, this is Manuel, I mean, playing Manuel L. Quezon here in this film called Quezon. Ito yung biggest ko.
So far,
in my entire career. Yeah, this is the biggest one. So I'm really, really so excited about it.
Galing-galing.
Super.
Ganda na kwento
Ito
mo.
po yung dry seal, regalo po ng US Tiffany's and Company sa government ng Commonwealth. So parang ano lang siya, regalo just to express na legitimate or kinikilala po ng US yung presidency po ni Pangulong Quezon.
Yeah.
So dry seal po siya, sir. Enlarged siya, ano lang siya, parang souvenir. Symbolic, sir. Tapos parang dito, makakapa mo dito yung seal ng Commonwealth government sa ilalim, sir.
Pwede?
O, kakapain niyo po, sir. Sobrang bigat yun po ito, pero hindi siya functional. Ceremonial. Yan yung seal, sir.
Wow.
Yan.
Pwede ko bang picturean?
Picture niyo, sir. 5 taong bubuhatan mo.
Talaga? Oh my God.
Yan ang ginagamit
Sige,
sa seal
ilalim.
noon.
Hindi, ano po lang to, parang regalo lang po, hindi talaga siya functioning na seal. Sa kabilang side, sir, yung seal, yung sa ilalim. Ay, sa bagay, ano mo na lang. Sir, dito nilagay yung 1935 Constitution. Kaya po. Ganon ka-special yung 1935 kasi ang Constitution, yun yung nagdidikta ng...
Diyan nilagay?
Opo, na magiging tadhana po ng nation natin.
Bakit ano? Bakit parang...
Regalo siya po. Parang,
Galing
ano,
China?
Parang sinasabi na Spanish, ano po. And parang may Chinese ano rin po, sir, no?
Influence.
Opo, opo. Ganyan ka,
Yung
ano.
mga dragons.
Opo, dragons po, opo.
Ang galing ano? So nandyan pa sa loob yung Constitution?
Yung Constitution po na original wala po dyan. Meron lang po kami facsimile lang.
Oh my God.
Parang may tabernacle pa.
Oh, yun nga po ganun ka-special po. 1935 Constitution. So, ito sir yung tailcoat niya, original tailcoat. Opo, yung ginagamit po sa mga gala events po sa Malacanang. Opo, medyo maliit po kasi. Maliit po yung may hawak na swagger stick, kilala siya.
Yan yung swagger stick.
May swagger stick ka rin sir,
Yeah, naka-swagger stick din siya sa... Check it out.
Yeah.
The big man. May swagger stick siya.
Ito yung yung tuxedo niya.
Apo sir, ang tuxedo.
Grabe yung mga...
Yan siya kilala
Mga kalalakihan noon, yung mga outfit nila
Opo, yung pag-akit niya sa Malacanang yata.
Nag-shoot ka rin ng ganyan?
Yung sa inauguration
Opo, inauguration. Saka yung pag-akit sir sa Malacanang, di ba yun? Yes. Saka di ba po parang sa Congress siya yung talagang ipinaglalaban niya yung independence.
Meron kami ganyan, may mga pictures.
Meron sir, no? Pwede ka sir dun sa taas.
Marami kami picture niyan.
Yan sir. JR dito.
Ano mga lines sa film?
Paano sir yung kamay mo? Yung sa kamay. Dito.
Paano? Hi!
Video.
Manuel Luis Quezon!
Video.
Ayun na, sa panoorin nyo na lang yung pelikula para wag masayang. Yung I would rather have a country A government run like hell by Filipinos.
Run like hell.
Run like hell.
Heaven
Than a country run like hell by Americans.
World,
Run like heaven, like by
World
Americans.
War equipments na po,
So,
sir.
medyo naiba na yung ibig sabihin niya.
Diba?
Run like hell.
Ayan. Mga World
Lumaban
War
din siya sa World
Hindi
War
po nung time po, sir, di ba? Challenge talaga sa Commonwealth government yung war.
Yeah.
Yes. So ito yung mga World War na mga...
Carlos Romulo.
Apo, Carlos Romulo collection.
Mga gamit nila yan.
Yes po, yes po.
Grabe, oh.
Yes po. Sa hospital bed niya po sa Malintatan.
Replica na lang, no?
Hindi, original po yan.
Original dyan siya namatay?
Opo.
Wow.
Original po. Hindi po siya namatay. Dyan po siya, nung nagkasakit po siya ng
nagkasakit.
tuberculosis dyan. Kasi sa New York po siya namatay.
Dito, ito,
Sick bed lang niya po yung
Sick bed.
nung nagka-tuberculosis po siya.
sa Pilipinas.
Apo, sir. Sa
Yung
Malinta
tunnel na
Tunnel.
yan,
Ito po.
yung tunnel na yun, nandun yun sa,
Yan, tinago siya sa tunnel.
sa pelikula namin yan.
Nandiyan sa
Nandun na rin
film.
po. Sa corridor mismo, sir. Ay, hindi.
We tried, pero bad yung weather that day. So we had to recreate. Recreate na lang the tunnel.
Yung sabi ka, safest bomb-proof shelter nung
Yeah,
Malinta
yung
Tunnel.
corridor,
nung time. So doon talaga siya pinag-stay muna po bago...
Saka time na
Before
yun.
he went to the US, may sakit na siya.
Oh.
Dilipat siya rin sa Amerika, mayroon na siyang TB.
Tsaka nung nilipat siya, parang yung binobomba tayo nun ng mga Hapon. So to keep him safe, dinala siya sa corridor and then dun sa sa New York.
Sa US.
Dun na siya namatay. Grabe, no? Pero dati ayaw niya magpalagay sa bed na ganyan. Gusto niya nasa sofa lang siya. So nasaratan siya ng mga sofa.
So ito pong gallery, sir, dedicated po kay Doña Aurora Quezon.
Mrs. Quezon na.
Ito po, sir, Vicente Manansala. Young Aurora. So, national artist.
Oo, Manansala.
Opo. Yan, Young Aurora.
Okay.
Ito po, sir, gallery ng...
Ito na?
Opo, sir.
Ang kanyang
Mga
gallery.
memorabilia nila sa family. Ito sa matrimonial bed.
Matrimonial bed nila ni Quezon?
Yes po, sir.
Ang ganda.
And then, yung mga maleta, isa sa mga maleta po nila, yung mga terno po ni Doña Aurora. Original na mga Filipiniana po niya.
This is a little scary.
Bus din siya.
Bus po. Si Francesco Ricardo Monti po, sir, yung gumawa. Yung angel po sa taas ng pylon, siya rin po yung
Siya rin gumawa nun.
Opo. Ayan po, may singer, singer...
Ito siya, siya yan.
Siya po yung panganay na anak po, si
Panganak
Baby.
to, anak.
Yung seal, oh. Yung seal na yan.
Sa Spain po galing, parang regalo po. Ang kutaga na shape.
Ano pangalan ng anak nila?
Si Baby po.
Baby.
Opo, Aurora.
Si Baby Q.
Aurora.
Ilan ang anak nila?
4 po, sir, pero 3 lang po yung palagi natin nakikita sa larawan. Kasi yung pang third, si Luisa Corazon Paz. Namatay po siya, baby pa lang po.
Itong dalawang ito.
Mga anak po ni
Meron
Quezon
dalawang
sa
anak.
kanya
Ano
doon.
pangalan?
Si Baby po.
Baby.
Opo, Maria Aurora, saka si Sineida, si Ma'am Nini.
Si Nini.
Yung third po, si Luisa Corazon Paz, namatay na baby. Yung huli po, yung junior niya po, si Manuel Quezon Jr. po, si Nonong po.
So mga nabubuhay na lang ngayon, mga kaapo-apo na lang.
Apo,
to.
mga apo na lang po, sir. Apo.
Ito mga gamit din ni
Doña
Mrs.
Aurora,
Quezon
sir.
to.
Opo, Mrs. Quezon. Yung niya, shoes
Shoes
niya,
niya.
yung mga pillow. May ilang piece pa ng sa manicure set niya.
Ang ganda nito. May seal pa.
Aurora.
Aragon, Quezon.
Quezon. AAQ.
So may vault din po dun.
What is in that boat?
So yun po.
Galing.
Tapos yung huli
Sa
po,
love
sir.
life mo?
Good. Very, very good. Very
Good, happy?
Very happy. We're very happy. We're very supportive of each other. But it's always fun times with Janine. Yeah, it's nice. She has a very nice family. Very great set of friends. She's also an actress, so we get to talk a lot about
Yeah.
our craft, our dreams for the industry, our dreams for ourselves, the roles that we want to play. Working together, we're actually working together now.
Where? Sa?
Well, we're developing a story for film kami with, I can't announce it muna, but we started, we are working on a story that, a film that we're developing together. But that would be after her show now. She's working on a project now. I'm not allowed to announce it, but she's very busy finishing this project. It's a big project, but Yeah, happy kami, man.
Pareho ba kayo ng interest? Ganyan din? Films din ang gusto niya? Parang ikaw?
Oo.
Pareho.
She recently attended film festival for Love Diaz's film. And you know, she was telling me all the stories and that happened there, and you know how kung gaano siya kabuhay in terms of pagdating sa acting. So we share the same
passion.
Passion when it comes to
galing.
We share the same passion sa food and travel.
That's nice.
So it's in that stage wherein, you know, we're discovering a lot of things together, which is really nice. So really light.
Sana you can conceptualize a movie about her grandma.
She's
Pilita Corrales.
actually currently working with Baby Ruth, who has a film now in cinemas. Right now it's in Ayala, I think Ayala Cinemas, about the West Philippine Sea. Yun yung pinapalabas niya ngayon. We watched this, great. So she's working with Baby Ruth for a documentary about Pilita Corrales.
Oh, yan ang maganda.
So she's producing that, and I'm so excited for her, especially with Baby Ruth. She's a really good documentary director. So yeah, you're right. I'm such a fan. My mother has Alzheimer's, but she sings
Pilita Corrales
songs. So I keep telling them that her songs go beyond, you know, memory, and you know, it's just para sa nanay ko, iba na eh. So pag nakikita sila,
dapat siya rin na magbida ron. Di ba? If you have Quezon, she has Pilita.
You should ask her.
You know? Di ba, Janine, you should do it.
Yeah.
Make it your project.
Yeah. I do imagine the same thing. It's like, because may pictures siya nung bata siya na
parang Pilita.
Kamukha niya talaga.
Katawa naman.
Yeah. And there's a side to Miss Pilita Corrales that's medyo rockstar. You know her as the bending.
Di ba yung ganun? Saka ang dami niya mga records na ginawa. International levels to,
Yeah. She's a oh my God, world-class artist.
Totoo. Si Kim, alam niya na, syempre, of course.
Of course naman.
Okay naman kayo? You talk about it?
Yeah.
You're friends with her, right? Di ba, up to now?
Super. She's one of my best friends.
Na-meet niya na ba si Janine?
No, unfortunately but yeah, we did before here in Manila.
Okay.
In Manila, yeah. So, yeah, I live a very, very blessed life in terms of everything running smoothly, everyone's, you know, cool, everyone's friendly and accepting and loving. So I can't complain. I have a good life, you know, despite the challenges and everything. I'm happy.
So sana tuloy-tuloy na yung takbo ng career mo this time. There's no stopping Jericho now.
I don't think now. There's no stopping.
Ito na yun.
I'm not stopping myself anymore because I know na ito na eh. You know, I'm here na eh. You know, I respect TV. I respect film. I respect stage, theater, and I know that lahat yan may kanya-kanyang respective na requirements and ugali and characteristics. Diba? So pag tumanggap ka ng TV, alam mo na ganito yung nature niyan. So hindi mo na ibubuhos yung frustration mo sa isang bagay kasi hindi mo magawa yung isang bagay. So I have that understanding now. So yeah, tuloy-tuloy na.
That's good.
Thanks for wishing me well.
Anyway, paano in-offer sa'yo yung movie? Bakit ka na-consider for the role?
Tumawag si Gerald sa akin habang nagsushoot ako ng Lavender Fields. Nag-text siya actually. Sabi niya, can I give you a call regarding a project? So I know Gerald. I auditioned for General Luna 10 years ago. And I've always wanted to work with him again. And TBA. So I said immediately, normally I don't have a phone when I'm shooting or film or taping. I don't use my phone. But it just so happened na, you know, break time, I touched it and then message siya. Tawag agad ako sa kanya. And he told me that, would you want to play Manuel Luis Quezon in the movie? I was like,
wow!
Lumakinteng ako eh. Alam mo yun,
diba?
As in, yung dugo ko talagang nabuhayin ako talaga ng ano eh. But during that time, that was 2024, I had already planned my 2025 and 2026. So I had movies lined up for the year up to 2026. And sabi ko sa kanya, so nag-meet kami. Sabi niya, kailan ang shoot? Sabi niya, immediately after your matapos mo yung Lavender Fields. So minove ko lahat. Immediately, nag-meeting kami agad. He gave, nag-usap kami. He gave me materials to read, the script, which was done ages ago. And then yun na, the rest is history na. And he said, may isa siyang tanong sa akin you don't mind that you're actually the second choice for the role. Sabi ko, no, not at all. Not at all. Okay lang. And then we discussed why TJ was the original actor for this because he came out na dun sa lumabas na siya dun sa previous films as Manuel Luis Quezon. His face was there and everything. But he had taken on a different path na si TJ. So he couldn't do the film. So I said, okay, sure. Ganon. Yun yung kwento nun. I remember that evening, nasa probinsya ako nun. Our location was a hospital. I stepped out and I was on the phone with him. I was so happy. I was so genuinely happy. Sobrang happy ako, bro. Because I had planned, my career and may vision ako ng anong gusto kong gawin. And I didn't have to work to develop anything or parang kumbaga binigay na lang sa akin bigla yung vehicle to get to where I want to go. Ganun yung feeling niya. Hindi ko na kailangan magbuo ng sasakyan. Ito na.
Tama.
Ganun. Yeah, it was a gift, super.
Paano ka nag-research dun sa character?
Of course, nag-start ako dun sa 20 pesos.
Yung mukha niya ron, no?
Tignan ko, ito pala ibig sabihin nito. Then I remember one story. We used to go to this antique shop here in Manila, and years ago nakita ko yung isang bust, rebulto, ulo ng isang very passionate yung expression niya, nakasigaw siya eh. I was like, galit, parang masyadong passionate yung tao na to. Tinignan ko siya. 3 years later, bumalik ako after the role was offered to me. Because pumupunta ako palagi doon pag gusto kong kumapal yung pagka-Pilipino ko eh. Kasi ang daming cultural stuff doon. Then I realized that was Manuel L. Quezon's bust. So, ganun kalaki. So, binili ko kaagad yung bust. It was by Kado, the artist Kado. So, binili ko yung bust.
You bought it, ha?
I bought it. Dinala ako sa bahay. Nandun siya sa I started with that. I started with going back what it meant to be living in QC, Quezon City. Yung 20 pesos na dating ginagamit ko sa eskwelahan pambaon ko. And then that bust, for me to just, para lang ma-feel ko na, okay, ano yung what's it like to be the president of the Philippines? And then they gave me yung autobiography niya. Of course, ang kapal ng mga materials na kapal yung basahan. I read history books. Naka-important for me to do was to read the script more than, I think I read it 5 times. Mga 5 times ko siyang binasa until ma-feel ko na siya. And then, researched on paano siya magsalita. Because may image siya. Cool siya, di ba? Cool siya eh. Tapos okay manamit and everything. But his voice was different. Iba siya magsalita.
Ganon?
Julius!
Ganon siya? So, pati yun, nakuha mo yun?
Pati yun, kailangan i-muscle, I had to train my voice to, kailangan ganun yung pitch, ganun yung quality ng voice niya. Somehow. And then, how he moved. Because yung first concern ko was, okay, yung itsura niya, di ba? Of course, he looks different from me. And then, but because of the makeup team, we discussed, okay, how are we going to approach this? Do we copy the exact thing? So pumunta sila sa bahay, binuhusan ng simento yung ulo ko, yung ano ko. It's on my Instagram para makuha yung bust, and then meron na rin akong bust. Then nilagay dun yung prosthetics dun sa para i-match dun sa mukha ko.
Wow!
It was a long process. The first day we spent 7 or 8 hours sa chair. We had more than 5 look tests to get to a decision ano yung gagamitin natin. Kasi nag-start kami with the hair, with the forehead, with the chin, with the nose, with the ears, with the neck, ganyan. Anong age ba siya nito? Nasan ba siya nito? So Gerald and I and the makeup team and the producers were working closely para to get to a point na okay, ano yung the best na look na natin. And we just all decided, so we just have to get the essence of the man. So, tanggal, ang daming process pare, 7-8 hours of makeup, tanggal lahat, tanggal hair, tanggal ears, tanggal ano. We just kept, you know, a bit of the nose, eyebrows, and then, you know, aging, parang ganon. Kasi he's 56 in nung time na yun. But during that time, 56 was, you know, they looked older.
Yeah.
Because of the lifestyle siguro. So that was a preparation, and then they said, try to not work out, well, at least, you know, not look fit. So, you know, the ex-president, he died of tuberculosis. So parang I had to look postura, pero alam mong hindi nag-workout. Yung parang pinipilit niya na postura siya palagi, parang gano'n. So, daming levels ng very internal yung ano, yung work, physical and internal, parang ganyan. So, also yung essence niya, I had to understand based on accounts. So I was talking to Xiao Chua also and other historians na makasama namin sa shoot to talk about what was he like and what was going on in his mind. You know, pag nakukuha ko noon, babalikan ko na may script. Ito yung ibig sabihin nun. So it was that kind of preparation that was ongoing until we were shooting. I would discuss with my co-actors what they knew about, you know, the government, the situation. I had to understand what was happening in the 1920s, 1930s, 1940s. Before the Japanese came, I had to understand what was happening so that I have, para meron akong, ano ba yung nasa loob nitong politiko na to, diba? Parang ganun. So,
I can just imagine kung gaano kahirap yan,
mahirap
no?
siya, mahirap siya.
Compared to an ordinary film na ginagawa mo, na sarili mong character yun, di ba, dali lang, papasadahan mo lang.
Pasadahan mo.
But ito may pressure, may mga nag-observe sa'yo, mga historia, di ba?
Yeah.
Di ba? Grabe yung pressure.
You're right. I had to ignore that pressure. So, I had to get through that. Malampasan ko siya. Kasi, kung hindi ko gawin yung homework ko, matataranta ako sa set eh, di ba? You know, imagine, you have to, number one, you have to, walk. Kailangan may similarity ng lakad, ng tayo, ng boses, ng look. The costume team was amazing because, you know, of course, from General Luna, Goyo, ganyan, di ba? But
yung character, how to get that character on screen.
Yeah, it felt like, yung pakiramdam niya parang, yung gears sa utak ko, tuloy-tuloy lang habang, as in, nagpo-proseso siya as we go. When you'll see me on the set, of course, sharing a laugh with, tawanan kami sa set or kwentuhan. But, you know, every shooting day, every hour, I was just thinking, okay, anong gagawin niya, ano yung ganito niya, Then, meron akong mga nakalagay sa bibig ko para, ganun, ang dami. So,
he's the most unscrupulous comedian I've met.
Tapos kasama niyo pa rito si Ian Glenn of Game of Thrones.
Yes.
How is it like working with him?
Sir Jorah.
Sir
Jorah. Siyempre, tigalgal ako, di ba? Tigalgal kami. Parang, oh my God! Yung pelikula natin may, may big name like, Ian Glenn, di ba? International, Game of Thrones, man.
Yes.
Di ba? Di ba? Siya yung na friend zone eh.
Friend zone ni Daenerys, no? Di ba?
Pero sa amin, love na love namin siya. Kasi talagang, oh my God. And then he, dumating siya, nag-reading kami. He came from the airport, went straight to Manila Hotel, and then meron kaming entire cast na reading. Alam mo bro, parang nung nagsasalita na siya, parang katabi ko yung HBO. Parang yung boses niya, boses pa lang niya, parang sabi ko, oh my God, di ba? So everyone was like, talagang 100% naka-up yung game nila dun sa reading pa lang. And of course, the energy na dinala niya dun sa set namin was so right, so pure, so professional. Parang feeling mo, parang feeling ko nasa NBA ako eh. Ganun. Parang big league na.
Na-up yung game nyo.
Oo, talaga eh. Parang ganun eh. And so generous. We were talking about General Wood because he's playing General Wood.
General Wood is?
Ang isang taong katulad ni General Wood nung time na yon, siya yung pinakamataas na posisyon na galing sa Amerika na mamamahala sa Pilipinas. Sa ilalim niya ay mga Pilipino, okay, katulad ni Manuel L. Quezon. So, na gumagawa ng mga sila gagawa ng mga batas, sila magpapalakad, ganyan. Bago dumating doon sa panahon na yung mga Pilipino na yung gumagawa ng batas. Okay. Yung time ng Commonwealth.
Transition.
Yes. Parang ganun. So he played General Wood. Prominente yan. So i-research niyo yung ano niya, yung karakter niya. So marami kaming eksena together. So can you just imagine na parang ako yung joy na nararamdaman ko na sabay kaming lalabas ng tent namin, pupunta kami ng set, throw lines kami, magre-rehearsal kami, gugulong-gulong siya sa sahig, tatawanan kami, ganyan, pawis na pawis kami together, lahat ng ano, tapos magde-deliver siya ng line, lahat nakatunganga, nakatingin lang ganun sa kanya. So, it was, for me, such an unforgettable time. Plus, he's a very, very cool person.
Do you talk about Game of Thrones? Yung experience
Of course, ako nahiya na ako. Diba? Nahiya na ako tanungin. Kasi lahat ng mga lalo na...
yun ang tanong eh.
Yan, sila Kariel, sila ano, diba? Yun yung mga gusto nila. Kasi ako nahiya na ako tanungin eh. Kasi parang lagi na lang iniisip ko. Parang gano'n. I think I did ask one question na, you know, in passing, parang gano'n. Talking about, ano, pero mention niya. But hindi niya lang alam na kapag nagme-mention siya ng mga projects na ginawa niya, tumataginting yung tenga ko eh. Kasi parang, parang ito, first-hand story, di ba, sa kanya. So, yeah, just such a wonderful person.
Yeah. Did you become friends with him
yes,
up to now?
Yes. So,
nag-ano kayo? Nagme-message kayo?
Not naman like, not naman like we message each other, but you know, we follow each other on Instagram, you know, but he doesn't really handle his Instagram account, so it's hindi siya totoo. But I did invite him and I said, whenever, you know, kung babalik ka, stay in the house, ganyan. And he loved the Philippines.
Oh, I'm sure.
He loved the weather. He loved the beaches. He loved lahat. So he was very, very happy dun sa experience niya working here in the Philippines.
Based on the research that you did and the character that you portrayed, anong realizations mo kay President Quezon?
What I realized was we had a leader, okay, that number one had a vision, number two had a giant goal, had many challenges to face, but the success rate was so high. Because of the way he is. A lot of people would judge him. You know, parang ano naman yan eh. Para sa akin, parang... Pag tinignan mo kasi isang presidente o isang leader, parang tinitignan mo sila, bayani ba itong mga to? And for me, that's wrong. You can't... Hindi mo pwedeng ipedestal yung mga tao kaagad. You have to understand that, you know, when there's a leader, may mga taong nasa likod niyan. And may mga tao na yung mga mamamayan katulad natin, and then part tayo ng isang kabuuan. That's what I learned because the people were aching for independence, and that's what he brought. That's where you know, yun yung binigay niya sa tao, independensya. But yung other questionable ano niya was the interesting part that they should see in the movie.
Yes.
Ito naman, yung isang mausoleo. So dito po nakahimlay po si Pangulong Manuel Quezon. So dyan po talaga siya nakalibing.
Grabe, no?
So from 1878 to 1944, so 66 years. So yan, sir.
This is like a...
Yes po. Sir, sa taas may ano po, yung kalabaw, kasi nire-represent na yung hard work. Yan, sa loob. Ay, may si Quezon din po, meron din po tayong statwa doon sa may kaliwa.
Kalabaw.
Kalabaw, hard work, perseverance, national, ano po natin.
Iba yun ang ating, ano?
Ito, sir, yung kay Doña Aurora naman. Dito naman po siya nakahimlay.
Si
Remains
Doña
na lang po.
Aurora?
Opo.
Ay, Aurora pala.
Aurora po.
Diyan siya nakalibing.
Ito po si Ma'am Nini dati, yung pangalawang anak po. So, dyan po talaga siya nakalibing.
Ano pakiramdam?
Sounds to, I would recommend for everyone to come here and visit the museum. Kasi makikita mo yung pinagdaanan ng isang katulad ni Manuel L. Quezon, 'di ba? Mula sa giyera, mula sa alam mo yung pagpapatupad ng mga batas or mga katulad ito ngayon na parang for me it's different because I played the character in the film. So it's medyo hindi ko ma-explain kung ano yung feeling ko pero it's different to touch the things that he actually parang nilagay ko kasi yung sarili ko dun sa pagkatao niya di ba? Sa kaisipan niya, dun sa karakter niya. And to be holding the things na belong and to be seeing the things that belong to him and his wife, Aurora Aragon, Quezon, di ba? It's medyo surreal ng konti. Parang medyo nakakameta ng konti, di ba? So parang for me, it's reverse na, I did play the role and then now, first time ko pupunta dito, na makita talaga yung mga gamit nila. Like it means so much more to me. But essentially, parang you see how big this name is. You see how big this person was, nung time na. This is the third resting place ni Quezon, from New York to North Cemetery to here, di ba? So, it's crazy and it's important, you see the artists yung mga artist na nag-boost ng oras para ilagay yung figura niya, yung image niya sa bato, sa kahoy, itong tore na nakikita natin palagi, diba? Simbolo ng Luzon, Visayas, Mindanao, yung tatlong anghel na nagluluksa dahil sa pagkamatay niya. Because he really made not only Quezon City, Quezon Province, but the Philippines, diba? Dinala niya sa independence, and we are partly, who we are now as a country because of this guy, diba? So it's big, it's beyond words. So, iba yung feeling. You have to come here and experience the feeling. Parang gano'n. If you like history,
overwhelming.
Medyo.
Thank you.
Thanks, man.
Marami tayong natutunan ngayong araw.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So, thank you for this opportunity.
Yeah.
Thank you. And thanks to you.
Opo, sir. Thank you. Mas may connection ka na, sir. Iba yung feeling.
Jericho Rosales po. And iniimbitahan ko kayong lahat na manood ng Quezon, the movie, on October 15, 2025 in all major cinemas in the Philippines. This is directed by Gerald Tarog and produced by TBA Films. And I'm so excited for you guys para na mapanood niyo ito dahil I'm so proud of the film. It's very, very, very entertaining. It's funny, but also at the same time, nakakakapal ng pagka-Pilipino. So I hope that you can all, share this special moment with us. And thank you for your support. Abangan nyo kami pala sa mga school tour namin. Go to Dakila's Facebook page or check out TBA or my Instagram account. Or Facebook account. We'll be announcing our locations. But next weekend, we're going to Cagayan de Oro City, Iloilo City, and Cebu. We'll be doing Naga also para sa mga kababayan kong Bicolano. We'll be doing a school tour discussing not only politics, not only the films, but of course, yung youth, yung mga kagustuhan ng mga youth. So, and we've done like a lot, three tours, and it's been so exciting so far. And thank you
Congrats,
to you
Jericho, and good luck.
Thank you for supporting our film, man.
Yes, I'm gonna watch it sa first day pa lang.
Thank you. We have to invite them. Yeah, we have to invite them.
Watch my vlog.
Yeah.
O nga pala si Tintin, i-interviewin ka sa bag mo.
Oo nga, sinabi niya na sa akin yun eh.
Oo,
sinabi niya na sa akin.
Beauty talk ba yun?
Oo.
Bag raid, magbabag raid.
Bag raid siya, yeah.
Thanks, Jericho.
No, thank you, man.
Good luck.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Here, it's an octopus.
I
have an octopus in my bag. So when you said that may bag raid ka, so I have an octopus palagi. So this is actually from the car. So nilagay ko lang sa bag ko just to make you laugh. Because I love mahilig ako sa mga octopus.
Bakit?
Yes, I think they're the best representation ng mga actors.
Dahil?
They're intelligent.
Okay,
they can change in color. They can sometimes shift in shape.
Julius and Tintin para sa pamilyang Pilipino would like to thank the following. Raja Travel Corporation, with you on your journey. David Salon, whoever you are, whatever you do, David Salon brings out the best in you.
Coco Life, believing in the Filipino.
Babyco Baby Wipes and Frida Feminine Napkins.
Universal Robina Corporation.
The Kabalen Group of Restaurants.
Ideal Vision.
Revlon for my makeup.
Goldmine Rice.
Mono Quadratic made-to-order home and office furniture.
DeLonghi Coffee Machines.
Enagic from Japan, Kangen Water Machine. Email us for inquiries.
Health Cube Medical Clinics. Uratex.
Clean Echo.
Autofan, the heart of every home.
Purple Hearts, formulated with love and care.
Cupid's Cologne, only 150 each. To order, message Cupid Tony on Instagram or email cupidscologne@gmail.com.
Boteju, authentic Japanese traditional cuisine. Sama-sama, salo-salo sa Boteju.
Promote your brand, products, and services in our show and digital platforms. For advertising inquiries, email n.bersola@gmail.com.